Students, society. Join me, Benjamin Morubane, your host, in a student's mental, emotional, and psychological well-being podcast, engaging with professionals, affected individuals, last but not least, people from different organizations in our studio. Welcome to We Now Listening with BM, a podcast. Ciao.
Melang. This is so weird. Everyone is telling me to be myself, but who am I? Anyway, let's just get right into the video. My name is Benjamin Morubane, and thank you for tuning into We Now Listening. So basically today we're just going to be talking about the founding story of the podcast, and I have Kia here with me, and I'm just going to allow her to introduce herself, and to just make things fun, Kia will be the one inducting the interview. Hello, Kia, how are you?
Hi, Benjamin. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Keaoleboga Motlhankane. I'm the founder of Keaoleboga Foundation. I'm a social justice activist, and I'm a fanatic of everything that involves equality and diversity. So yes, don't play with me.
I certainly know not to play with you, man. I certainly do. So yeah.
Kia, can we begin?
Yeah, I think we can.
Awesome. So yeah, my first question to you is, what actually inspired the podcast? Because the first thing that I noticed is that you said it's a student podcast. So what do you mean by that? Like, what actually inspired it?
Well, as the podcast, it's a podcast for students. They are emotional, mental, and psychological well-being. So what inspired me is the situations and the cases that we mostly find ourselves in as students. There are so many things affecting us, and for the fact that there are no platforms like catering for this, I just decided to, let me just start a podcast whereby we can talk about these things, whereby people can come, they can challenge themselves to talk about what they're going through, and then we'll be on the side trying to listen to them, talk to them, and then we're mostly going to be offering the solutions to their problems.
Okay. And then how are you? Okay, I forgot the other question. The thing is, I keep thinking about a lot of things, you know. Because I know that usually when frameworks are are formulated, in order to address a certain issue in our country, it's always the problem is always it doesn't consider the diversity of the country. The diversity meaning the cultures that exist. You understand? So we do see the solutions, but at the end of the day, what about the diversity of the country? Because at the end of the day, we do have a lot of people that actually listen to culture more than the law. You understand?
Yeah,
and
I get you.
Even also for psychologists, sometimes it becomes a problem because you now have to be understanding of each and every culture. You understand?
Yeah.
If not understanding, but rather competent enough to understand and not judge.
Yeah.
So I personally do feel like this is a way to also bridge the gap. Because people will be now able to understand the world from maybe like a Xhosa person or a Zulu person or Tswana person, even though it's not theory based, but it gives you an idea of the cultural dynamics and
everything.
Yeah.
Because as these three areas, man, they actually people suffering from emotional, mental and psychological well-being or issues. It's actually everyone. So it's a universal issue. It might not be only students, because it also extends to the society at large, because we are dealing with so many things. And we wrote down a couple of topics, actually not a couple, too many topics, because they're 108 of them.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's going to be a very fun and educative podcast, because this is a place or a platform for venting, for sharing, for learning, for helping and being helped. you know. So that's basically what the podcast is all about, and the inspiration comes from all of that, wanting to educate people, wanting to help people, wanting to give people a platform to just talk about whatever they're going through. Okay. Yeah.
So in terms of resources, which people are you looking at collaborating with or inviting to the show to ensure that people have access to the facts and the correct information?
Yes, because like I like the last part, the facts. You know, because the criteria is actually basically simple. We just need someone on the show, someone who has like the current facts about a certain topic, you know, and we need someone who has more experience, like first-hand experience regarding the or with a connection to the topic, you know, and just someone who isn't afraid to talk about whatever they are going through. So basically the people that we're going to be working with, like they are the psychologists, you know, the psychologists, the social workers, people from, because I know there is a topic about careers and choosing whatever you want to do in life. So people from career center or career affairs, yeah, such things, and just people who are very influential, like people from the community, you know. Yeah, so those are the people that I will want to work hand in hand with to help me bridge the gap between the people who need help and people who are willing to help.
Okay, yeah, I very much understand. And so, where can people get access to the podcast? Like, which platforms are you going to be utilizing to stream the podcast?
Well, basically, the simple stuff, man. YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and all the platforms which are catering for the podcasts.
Okay, right, I understand. And okay, I just have one interesting thing.
Yeah.
Would you say there are topics that you on your show would like not to touch on because of a specific reason? And yeah.
Yeah, I think they are, man. Not to be otherwise to the society or to the community, but I don't feel like, or like, okay, let me not put it how I feel, because it's not about me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But since it's everyone's best interest, you know, politics, religion,
Yeah.
you know, those are amongst others, those are the two topics that I don't want to touch on in the podcast, because everyone has different views, different perspective, and they have set beliefs regarding those matters. So if I were to have a guest talking about those, probably I'll be like in a way offending certain people. So I don't want that. I just want to talk about basic stuff, general stuff, which only affect the mental, the emotional, and the psychological well-being of people.
Okay, so I understand where you're coming from. So basically, you want to be objective about it, not subjective.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah. And then, because from my understanding, if you basically going to link people to the relevant resources.
Yeah.
So if needs be that the matter is spiritual, you know, and not financial, then you will link them to the relevant person.
People. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we want to cater for everyone as much as we can. So if, say, for example, because we'll be having like ways on people can contact us. So if you're dealing with something that you feel like it's affecting you in those areas, and it's something that we said we're not going to cater for in the podcast, you're more than welcome to send us a message or something, and then we just direct it to the relevant people, and they'll just contact you, and you'll have a session with them, because you don't necessarily have to come through the podcast in order to get help.
Okay. No, I very much understand. From my side, that's all I have. I don't know if you have anything to add.
Well, I think there's something that I just missed.
Yes.
Or we missed.
Okay.
But basically the podcast is only going to be uploaded. They're going to be like 4 shows. The first one is Misconception, whereby I just clear the misconception that people have regarding certain topics. And that will be on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we'll be having an informal sessions whereby we just talk about the experience that people have. Like, for example, maybe first year experience, getting to varsity and everything. And they will be discussed. Like, there are a lot of topics that will be discussed under informal sessions. And then on Friday, that's where we have like deep serious stuff, man, where we talk about like childhood trauma, depression, anxiety, and all those serious stuff. Those ones are the formal sessions, which will have a psychologist present with us or a social worker with us to help us with the situation in case it escalates or anything. And then on Saturday, it will be just Thanksgiving. If I can just put it there, and just reflection from the week, the production, just thanking everyone who participated and everything. And then later on, I'll be venturing into 2 different stuff which are outside the scope, but not necessarily, because like this one, it talks about gents, whereby we'll be helping gents improve their leadership skills, their behavioral skills, and like everything that makes gents better. Better people for the society, because I believe a lot of people are looking up to them to make the society a better place. So we'll be trying to help them improve and just empower them, educate them and everything. Then the last show that we'll be having, it will be high school edition, whereby we just talk about stuff that affect the grade 12s or the whole school, the whole high school.
Oh, goody goodos, Magundi. We have reached the end of our episode. If you like the video, hit that like button. And if you want more of this great show, hit that subscribe icon and the notification.